So I've been to over 11 countries this year, and I think it was time to do a travel wrapped. We had a very, very good year. It's gonna say 14 countries above, but I've really been to 11. A lot of these include layovers. My ratings will be based on how much I liked it and my experiences. It's not based on how long I was there. So with no further ado, here's my travel wrapped. At number 11, we have Lithuania. I liked it, but I felt like there was not much to do. Very dark, very cold, a bit depressing if I'm being honest. But according to my coworker, she's Lithuanian. She told me I visited at the worst time of the year. It feels more of a place that you go to when you're in a relationship and you want like the little cutesy stuff, the little photos. So that's why it's at number 11. At number 10, we have Guatemala. Guatemala was a trip. Literally, I went there when I was in a relationship. A lot went down. It was just very interesting. I think the country is beautiful as a whole, but many times I felt like I was getting scammed for like the most simplest things. And I get agitated when places do that because it's like that's so dishonest, bro. Like just give me the normal rate and who knows, I might tip you, but don't try to scam me. And many times I was on the tuk-tuks, it felt like I was just getting scammed. Also, food was very expensive depending where you went. That might be my fault. I went to the touristy spots. At number 9, we have Estonia, and Estonia was cool and all. I think the weather might have put a damper on my experience. But when I was there, I felt like there was not really much to do in terms of like nightlife. And I think I viewed it as a nightlife city and I probably went into it the wrong way. There was a lot of do like there was a lot to do activity wise. Like I got to do like a virtual experience somewhere and I got to see the KGB museum, which was very sad. I mean, it was like the old prison cells. But I think that's why it's so low on my list because I heard nightlife was it. And then when I got there I was like, "Oh, eh." Also was racially profiled at Joe Malone at one of the malls out there. So I feel like that definitely like put a damper on my experience as well. But it's a 9. At number 8, we have France. I spent a full day in Marseille and it was chill, very laid back. It rained and I was also going through some shit back at home. So I think that is the reason why it's so low on the list. I will be going back to France. I don't know what part, but I think it deserves another run around. So yeah. At number 7, we have Ireland. I very much enjoyed Howth. You see that in some upcoming videos. And I also liked how easy transportation was. I mean, it is a metropolitan city, so that makes sense. But I felt like everything was pretty close. Like, I didn't feel like I had to travel a crazy distance to get a little bit outside of Dublin, even by bus. Because a lot of times, if you go by bus to many places, it'll be like this whole, like, hoop, jump, skip shit. So, yeah. Liked Ireland. I also lost my wallet when I was out there or before I got there, so I feel like that altered my experience a little bit. But I think it's a strong 7, and if I go next time, I'll definitely be going with some friends. At number 6, we have Latvia, and Latvia owes me nothing. As soon as my Lux Express bus pulled up, I said, "This is gonna be my favorite time in the Baltics," and it was my favorite country in the Baltics. I feel like the locals really know how to party. They're extremely welcoming, and it was the first place I went to. It was the first place I went to in the Baltics, so I didn't really feel like an odd man out. Latvia is that place. We'll be going back. At number 5, we have Czech Republic, and I felt like there was just so much to do. I didn't get to do half of the stuff that I wanted, which is a good thing. Like there's something to go back to. I got to do the beer baths when I was out there. I wanted to do the Lego Museum. I got to try like a whole bunch of different food, and it's a place I want to definitely go back to. Not to mention, our money goes very far out there if you get paid in USD. So Italy, I very much enjoyed. I didn't get a chance to really spend like my time outside with like locals or anything, and I got to spend it majority with my friends. But it is a beautiful ass country. Like I got to spend some time in Parma. I got to see Cinque Terre. It's just honestly the views and the vibes and also like the way I was able to bond with my friends. I think this really added to my experience. I will be going back to Italy. Hopefully this time I don't get double stopped at the airport. If you heard that story, you know, you know. But yeah, Italy, number 4. Number 3 is Puerto Rico, and I know a lot of people will be like, but Puerto Rico's not a country. And yes, it is. I don't care if it says territory or not, it is still a country. The US decided that they wanted this shit and they put territory on it. It's a whole different country. Trust me. If you go there, you will know. I had an amazing time in Puerto Rico. Yeah, like the beach, the sun. They know how to party. Also, like I'm from New York, so this it was just an extension of New York City. Like I've already been around this culture, and it was great to see it like in its homeland. So yeah. Number two is the UK, and I was in London. London just feels like a second home. I've only been there once, but I did. That's gonna be my place. I think that will be one of my main cities that I'll end up like just staying in. It felt like home. I have not much to say on it, but it London's London, bro. At number one, we have El Salvador. El Salvador, I don't know what it is, but it definitely had an impact on me. I went there right after my grandmother passed. I already had this trip booked, and I was thinking, all right, little story time. I was thinking, I was like, damn, like I hope that nothing happens when I'm out there. And she passed literally like maybe a month before. So I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to go on the trip, and I still decided that I wanted to go, and it had a very good impact on me. I feel like the people are so sweet. You'll be walking in the street and they'll be like, "Hola, hola," and it's like kids, and they're not asking for anything of you. They just want to say hi, and people are very interested in your culture and where you're from and why you're here. And I know they went through a lot with their government, and they're still going through a lot with their government. And just a very like respectful and admirable group of people. I will be going back. El Salvador like really owes me nothing. I was on my way home to the airport, and I had an amazing talk with this cab driver, and it El Salvador, like, yeah, that video is coming soon too. So that was my travel wrapped.